Shalom, everybody, and welcome to the first of our online distance learning classes. This is me. I'm at home preparing this lesson. This is my attempt to try to take a selfie with an iPad. I hope it came out well. This is you. Hopefully you're happy and all is well. And we're going to be learning a little bit differently. But hopefully, my hope is that you will really enjoy the learning over the coming days. And again, hopefully this is you, happy and enjoying yourself. And these guys might look familiar. They're not working, so they should also be tuning into this YouTube channel and learning a little about Judaism. Today, we're going to be talking about different aspects of Chametz. Chametz is a term you all are familiar with, presumably. It's so central to the holiday of Pesach. Chametz is very unique, in contrast to other things that we don't eat, in that besides the Torah telling us that we don't eat it, that you shouldn't eat it, but the Torah also tells us that over the holiday of Pesach, we don't own it. So, whereas a lobster you would be able to have, let's say, own and have as a pet, but you couldn't eat it, which is kind of too bad, because if you look at it, it looks really delicious. But Chametz, besides not eating, we don't own as well. So the first Hebrew term we're going to be talking about today is B'dikat Chametz. B'dikat Chametz is searching through your house, making sure that there is no Chametz. B'dikat Chametz is done on the night of the 14th of the month of Nisan. Now, the Jewish day, on a Jewish calendar, the day begins at night. So this is the beginning of the day, the 14th of Nisan, which is the day before Pesach. When it comes to B'dikat Chametz, any kind of house requires you to do B'dikat Chametz, assuming as long as it's a house that you have had Chametz in it. Doesn't matter if it's a normal looking house, doesn't matter if it's a normal looking house like this. By the way, for those Star Wars fans out there, I hope you enjoyed the lightsaber. Doesn't matter if it's a normal looking house like this or a very, very interesting house looking like this. Any house where Chametz is used throughout the year requires B'dikat Chametz. And just as a little bit of an aside, so if you look on the sheet with the questions, there is an extra credit question at the end. But I'm going to throw out another more fun kind of extra credit question just for like an extra point. If you could name the cartoon from like 40, 50 years ago, famous cartoon from 40, 50 years ago, that this picture of a house should remind you of. So, do whatever research you need to do. And if you can come up with that, I'll be very impressed. And that'll be a 1 point extra for just some fun extra credit. And maybe another time I'll explain to you the story behind this funny looking house. And the next thing we're going to talk about is Bitul Chametz. Bitul Chametz is declaring any Chametz in our house ownerless. So besides doing different actions to get rid of the Chametz, we also make this declaration, this statement, which is related to the prohibition in the Torah not to own any Chametz. Bitul Chametz is actually done twice. It's done at the night of the 14th, after B'dikat Chametz, right after B'dikat Chametz, you make this proclamation, this statement. And it's done a second time the morning after B'dikat Chametz. That would be on Erev Pesach. Erev Pesach is the term for the day before Pesach. A very key term when it comes to Bitul Chametz is the term Hefker. Hefker is the term in the Torah, in the Mishnayot, in the Talmud, and in the Halakha for anything ownerless. It basically means ownerless. Hefker. In Bitul Chametz, we're declaring our Chametz as Hefker. And what you have over here is the text of the Bitul Chametz. It's on this page right after the bracha that's made before the mitzvah of B'dikat Chametz. And together with that, after the B'dikat Chametz, you say the Bitul. And again, you say the Bitul, a little bit of a different text, but basically almost completely the same. You say it also the morning after, as we mentioned. And I'll read it. It's in the language of Aramaic, which is the language of the Talmud of the Gemara from the Jews in Babylonia around 1700 years ago. And you have here a very good translation in English also. Kol chamira v'chamia de'ika birshuti dulo chamite udulo vi'arte udulo yadanale libatel v'leheve hefker ka'afra da'ara. All leaven and anything leavened that is in my possession, which I have neither seen nor removed, and about which I am unaware, shall be considered nullified and ownerless as the dust of the earth. Those two words on the bottom were cut off, but ka'afra da'ara, like dust of the earth. And when a person says the Bitul Chametz, it's actually very important that they know, that they understand what they're saying. So if that they don't understand the Aramaic, then they could say the Aramaic, but they should also say the English as well. And you do find people, when they do Bitul Chametz, they'll say what's in the Siddur, the Aramaic text, and then they'll read from a translation. And besides B'dikat Chametz and Bitul Chametz, we have Bi'ur Chametz, the burning of the Chametz. Bi'ur Chametz is also done the morning of Erev Pesach. So make sure to read the website well, read it carefully, read what's on the handout carefully to make sure that you complete the assignment. And Be'ezrat Hashem, with God's help, we'll be learning more in the future.